You can get the usage of your current governor limits in Apex transaction by using the methods from limits class. So there are methods available in limits class that can tell you about the current governor limits utilization and the total allowed limit. So if you want to know about the utilization of a particular governor limit, then there are some methods in limits class like get DML statements and get heap size, and there are many more. So when you execute the get DML statements, it returns the number of DML statements that have been called in your current transaction so far. And if you execute the method get heap size, then it returns the amount of heap that your program has already used in the current Apex transaction. So all these methods, they start with get keyword and they all have the limit name in the method itself, like the get DML statements and get heap size. So these methods will tell you about the current utilization, but if you want to know the allowed limits, then there are other methods as well in this limit class. For example, if you want to know the total allowed DML statements in Apex transaction, then you can execute the method get limit DML statement. And if you want to know about the allowed heap size, then you can execute the method get limit heap size. So if you notice, these method names are very similar to the previous one. So previously they used to be like get heap size, which tells you about the current utilization of heap in your current transaction. But if you want to know the allowed limit, then you only need to add one more word in your method name, which is get limit heap size, and this is going to give you the actual governor limits value. So these methods are very helpful when you want to avoid hitting any type of governor limits, or when you want to execute some piece of code when you are about to hit a particular limit in Apex. So let's go to Apex Developer Guide and take a look at some of the methods from limits class. So here is the comprehensive list of all the methods from limits class. So here we have all type of methods for all type of governor limits in Salesforce. For example, if you want to know about the usage of current aggregate queries in your transaction, then you can call a method called get aggregate queries. You can call a method get CPU time to know about the current CPU time that your transaction has utilized. You can also know about the callouts, the DML rows, DML statements, and for each of these methods there is one more method called get limit and then the method name. So if you have a method called get CPU time, which tells you about the current utilization of this limit, then you also get a method called get limit CPU time, which tells you about the actual governor limit value that is allowed. So you will find this similarity for all the methods in limits class. So come here, take a look at all the methods in limits class and try to use this in your own Apex code. For now, let's go back to developer console and we are going to modify one of our previous example so that we don't hit the heap size issue in our code. So here we have a code which kind of duplicates the account records and keeps on storing them in the accounts list until we eventually hit the heap size issue. So when you execute this code, you will get the heap size exception, but this time we will avoid it. So even though we have a endless loop here, we'll still avoid hitting our heap size issue. And the reason is I'm going to put a check here inside my while loop and I'm going to check the current utilization of heap, and as soon as I am about to reach the allowed heap size limit, then I'm going to skip through this loop and I'm going to put a debug log in the end. So I'll use the if condition here and then I'm going to use my limits class and I'm going to call the method get heap size. So this is going to give me the current heap utilization. And now I'm going to check if the current utilization is about to reach the allowed limit or not. If yes, then I'll break from this loop and I'll come out of the loop. So I'm going to use one more method here from limits class, which is called limits dot get limit heap size. And now I'm going to check if the current utilization multiplied by 2 is greater than or equals to the allowed limit. Because since we have already utilized half of the heap size, in the next iteration of this for loop, our list of account is going to get double and then we'll definitely hit this heap size issue. So before that happens, I'm going to break my loop here. So I'm going to have a break statement. But if that is not the case, then it will keep on adding the items in this list. So after this for loop, I'm going to have a debug statement where I'm going to print the list size. So it should be like accounts dot size, and this statement will execute. And I'm not going to check the rest of the code. Let me delete it. Actually, we don't need this piece of code. And now we can execute our code. Looks like our code executed fine. We didn't get the heap size exception. We neither got the CPU timeout exception as well, which is good. And now we will analyze our logs to check the account records size. But we have got an error and it says long running operation did not complete, continuing in the background. So let's click on OK and let the operation complete, because the debug size would be huge as our program has almost utilized the complete heap. So it was a success, and if I click on debug only, then we should be able to get our list size. So before the loop breaks, the list size at that time was, it's I guess more than a million. Yes, it's like there were almost a million item in the list. So we were about to hit this heap size issue, but before that we break out from the loop and we are printing the size. So you can use these type of methods anywhere in your Apex code where you think that you might hit that particular governor limit and you want to break from current execution and want to do something else. Like the way I'm doing here, I'm breaking my loop and I'm printing my account list size. You can do some other operations as well here, maybe like some kind of logging that can log these kind of exception when you are about to hit them. So that's all in this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.